Welcome back to Engaged Networking with JP Ostiguy. Of course, I'm JP Ostiguy, and today I have a special guest, a friend of mine, the incomparable Laura Connor from Connor Speaks. Ma'am Connor?
Just call me Laura.
Laura, how are you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, JP?
I'm doing great. You had a networking event last night.
Yes, I did.
Connor Speaks and Mix and Mingles.
Connor Speaks and Mingles, the ultimate networking event in Markham.
Nice. I met you by coming to one of your networking events. We talked on LinkedIn a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You actually threw out, because you are a presentation speaking coach.
Yes.
And you threw that out there online. You're going to help me and anybody submit a video and you'll critique it for me.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's what I did. And I was really glad to see that you responded, because I threw that out because most people need help with their public speaking skills and being able to share what they do with their business. And even though I had a lot of people say, yes, that sounds good, great idea, I'm going to do it, very few people actually took me up on my offer, and you were one of them. So
yeah, it was great. And I think I sent to you like, it'll be today, and it was like 11:59. You got it.
Yes.
And you responded, and that's really cool. And anyone who doesn't know Laura, you need to know Laura. She is a very good technical speaking coach. Tells you where you should be, how you can address yourself, your body language, everything else. So and it's become a good friend. You've had me speak at your event, which is great.
Yes.
I've come and filmed some of your stuff, which is awesome. Sorry for the delay getting your last film, but
that's all right. Better late than never.
Better late than never. So how did it go last night? Tell me what happened.
Well, we had another great event. We had two fabulous speakers. We had Eric Brown speak, and we also had Ian Webster speak, the financial fighter. And they both delivered their 5-minute talks. And then the audience, all the other minglers that were there, were able to give the two presenters feedback. And that's important, because most times when people are working on their presentation for their business, they don't get that time to get feedback from other people to let them know, okay, well, this is what you did well, but this is what you probably need to explain a bit more so that your prospective clients understand what you're saying. So that's what happened last night. Two great speakers, a lot of good feedback. And then I chimed in and I did a little mini workshop on how to captivate your audience from the beginning to the end and different techniques that you can use.
That's awesome.
And then we had several different times of networking. We had an impromptu speaking game, and it was just a lot of fun. These Connor Speaks and Mingles events are lots of fun.
There's a good energy there. They're local.
Yes.
They're easy to get to. They're right off the highway.
Right off the 404.
Yeah, that's awesome. So people getting into networking, like we've talked about this in a couple shows now.
Mm-hmm.
What would you recommend? Someone that wants to get out there and it's not the social scene. They want to grow their professional brand. What should they do?
They should do two things. The first thing is you need to commit to going out to meeting people and getting out there. So you have that experience, that one-on-one time with new people that you can actually introduce your business and you can share what you do and who you serve and make some connections. The second thing you need to do is you need to host your own event. A lot of people are really scared of hosting it, but you don't have to make it where it's a big, huge event. It could be a small event in a coffee shop. It could be in a community center room. Just put it out there and host your own event on whatever topic is of interest to you. Invite some people out there, and then you have that opportunity to share what you want to share about and set yourself apart as the expert in your field. When you host your own event, and you know this, JP, with your engaged networking event, that when you host your own event, people look to you because most people don't want to host their own event. And so you set yourself up several steps higher than everybody else out there. So those are the two things I'd say you need to do. Yeah,
and hosting an event it's not a social thing. You don't just put on a party. There's a lot of work to go into it for respectability. You had a friend that you were using the real estate office for a while, for over a year. And over a year?
No, it was 6 months.
6 months, okay. Months. So you were using the real estate office effectively, and they were benefiting because they were getting potentially new clients coming in, people who didn't know her before, and you kind of had a symbiotic relationship with it. Great lady, by the way. She was awesome. And that grew into, now you're renting a hotel room.
That's right.
A lobby room that you can host events. That's a pretty big step up.
That's right. Sylvia Morris from Century 21.
Yeah.
Amazing lady. And just our relationship speaks to the power of networking and building relationships and collaborations. She offered me her space and we were able to use it. And that's where I was able to start and build up that following. And then at the end of last year, we decided let's move over to the Courtyard by Marriott, which is where we're at now. And it's been a great jump. It's a bit more accessible because I have people coming from all over town. And it's just a nice step up, more convenient, and a little bit larger. So it really meets my needs. But if it wasn't for networking and collaboration and partnerships and just working together with other people who are in your different industries, but you're still about supporting each other, Connor Speaks and Mingles might not have happened. So it's really good.
Well, it's a good format,
Yes.
right? It's very easygoing. It's very relaxed. You got snacks. I like snacks.
Yeah, I like stacks too. I like stacks too.
And the base of it is just learning to speak,
That's
right?
right.
And now you've taken your game a lot bigger. You got introduced by LinkedIn about 6 months, 8 months ago.
I've been on LinkedIn for several years, but didn't use it
And,
until last year
and what did you find the primary reason why you started using it?
because I kept hearing LinkedIn this, LinkedIn that, LinkedIn this, LinkedIn that. And I figured I need to, if I'm going to really step up my game and really increase my exposure and help as many people as possible, I needed to get out there. And LinkedIn was the best platform for that because it's a professional network. And it while there are 600 million people on there, it still feels really small. And I was able to share content, comment on other people's content, and grow my network that way. And so LinkedIn has been a really big part of my networking mix, my networking strategy. LinkedIn is definitely there.
Well, it lets you really be personal in a business class,
Yes.
right? First of all, LinkedIn is not Facebook. Just let you know that pictures of your dogs and your kids and stuff, great, not great platform. It is a really beneficial platform, though, to share what you're doing, ask questions, throw it out there, and be vulnerable and say, "Hey, I got this. I'm thinking about this idea. Can someone tell me if it's a horrible idea or if it's good?" And a lot of people are actually pretty easygoing. They'll give you their feedback. Yeah, there's always going to be haters. Haters be
Everywhere.
haters.
There's haters everywhere.
They need love too. I love my haters. They need love too, but people will give you advice, and it's your idea and your ability to interpret what you like and what you don't. Right?
Yes. With LinkedIn, what I love about LinkedIn is you're able to make connections online and then take those connections offline. So our relationship together, prime example, we meet up on LinkedIn, we go back and forth. I give you some coaching advice. You implement it, which is great because a lot of people get advice, but they don't actually act on it. So great job on that, JP. And then we're able to meet in person. I've had other people we are first level connections on LinkedIn. We go back and forth. I comment on her posts. She comments on mine. One evening, we ended up going to a speaking event. I'm sitting there at the back row, and then in comes this lady, and she sits down beside me. And I had never met her before, but because she was one of my LinkedIn connections, I turned around and I called her by her name, caught her a little off guard. But before you know, it's like, how do you actually meet people online and then meet them in person, and you feel like you already know them? And
Absolutely.
so I've had several times like that where I meet different people online and then we take it offline. And now some great events are happening, great collaborations are happening, all because of online networking and then offline networking.
Well, and you said a key is taking the relationship and the conversation offline.
Yes.
And there's a good way, a right way, and a very wrong way to do it. We had Jessie Kessel here earlier, and she was talking about people asking her for coffee. And wrong way. I have
Right.
no clue who you are. It's not a dating app.
That's true.
Um, what is your value statement? Why do you want to go? What's value to me for me to take time out of my busy day to come meet with you? Is it collaboration? Is it just talking about what you do? I'm really interested in what people do,
Hmm.
and I like to meet. Right? Some people don't want to meet with me because I'm kind of loud, and but that's okay. Is there a reason? Tell the person what you want to do and the reason why you want to meet them. Don't just ask them because if it comes out of left field, it'll be thrown back.
That's true. And if you connect with someone and then all of a sudden, yes, let's meet up for coffee. And by the way, are you interested in my services? That
Yeah, not
is
so
a
much.
big turnoff.
Yeah.
And as you start getting more and more comfortable with using LinkedIn and your people start requesting to connect with you, a lot of times you're going to get those people who are going to connect with you, but not to connect with you to do something together, but to connect with you to sell you something.
Yeah. Oh, I love those. So you get a request, you accept it, and then 3 seconds later, I sell you timeshares, I sell you duct cleaning, I do this. I'm in because I'm in the automotive industry.
Hmm.
Um, we do marketing, and I can't find them on Google. It was the best part. But
Wow.
you know, make sure that you are offering more than taking.
Right. Absolutely.
A good friend of mine has always said your bank account is a direct reflection of how many people you help.
Right.
Right? If you don't have a very big bank account, maybe you should start thinking about helping more people. Right?
Right.
Um, Volunteering to be part of a meetup too is a great way to get out there
Hmm.
and help. Speaking at meetups, it takes some time. You helped out great for me getting my mechanics better.
Right.
Uh, Find a thing you're passionate about. If you're passionate about dogs, there's meetups about that too.
And that's the thing. Even if you know that you need to be a better speaker for your business, maybe the easiest way to start speaking about your business is to start talking about your dogs. If you also have that passion, join a meetup for that. Host your own little event. Do a dog walking thing, and while you're walking with a couple people in the neighborhood, share some latest tips on dog food or dog health or vets in the area. Whatever you want to do, start with what you're passionate about. Because when you start speaking about what you're passionate about, the words will come a lot more easily than when you're struggling to try to explain something that you're not sure about.
Well, and it's a great example. Sharing people's passion. The running room did a great job many years ago offering running clubs where they come and they have one of their staff who's almost a professional runner take people out on runs.
Right.
They're their tour guide, and they get the coaching and everything at the same time because you bought shoes from them, right? They're sharing the passion and they're building the business.
Matter of fact, I'd say whether or not you bought shoes from them, because a lot of people want to run, they go and they join up with that group and then they start running with everyone. Well, you feel a lot of times you feel obligated to do business with them
Yeah.
because they have served you so much. And that's the great power of networking, hosting your own events, going on LinkedIn and offering value to people without expecting anything in return, because most times you're going to get something in return. But if you go out there with the intention of, okay, I'm going to sell somebody something, or I'm going to do this because I want something back, then that's where it's may not work for you. So you serve people.
Absolutely.
And that's what I tell people: keep sharing, keep serving, keep speaking. You want to keep sharing. Share about your passion. Share about things that are going to help other people. Keep serving other people. And then you have to keep speaking up about it, because if you don't speak up about it, then who will know about what you do and how you serve them and what you offer?
Absolutely. One thing, you host your events. I've hosted my events.
Hmm.
It's a unique experience hosting an event.
Yes.
Right. My very first event I hosted was at a hotel.
Hmm.
Luckily, I had a sponsor to do it. It's expensive.
It is.
You know, for something you're trying to build a business for, it's really expensive. And I've seen people get into some massive problems thinking, I've got to wow everybody. It's not a conference, right? We're not building a seminar series,
Right.
right? What would you tell people who want to start their own event?
Start it small. Go to Panera Bread or some other coffee shop and just host a small event. Get a few people that are committed to showing up to these events, that like you and that see your value. You host the event, you have to take a lot of pictures, and you are king about the pictures and the video. So you take a lot of pictures, a lot of events, a lot of pictures and videos, and then you post those and you share and you comment and you start to build up that following. Don't go put yourself into this long multi-month contract and think you have to wow and impress everybody, because you don't need to.
You'll be broke.
You'll be broke. Just show that you are actually serving people and you're coming with a servant's heart, and be there and offer value. Start small where you're at, and once after you start doing it, then opportunities will come up, opportunities will come up, and before you know it, you may get a space offered to you, or you may collaborate with somebody else. But start where you are, and then move on.
Absolutely. Community centers, if you had to rent a space, community centers are really good. There's MySpace. I think it's MySpace. You can go and rent like Airbnb for spaces.
Right.
There's places that are $15, an hour. Unbelievable. Like it's amazing some of
Right.
these places that exist. But yeah, start small and just build. And remember, it's about quality. It's not about quantity. Having 80 people there who have no interaction and no social skills, and all they are is a bunch of people trying to sell you something. That's a conference. That's not
Right.
that's a show home. That's not right. So make sure that if you only have 10 people, it's okay as long as 10 people are engaged.
Right.
Because those 10 people will add value to your room. If 80 people and everyone hates it there,
You'll have 80 people one time, and then you'll have 5 people the next.
exactly. Consistency and growth, right?
Right.
And don't worry about the initial thing. It takes 3 to 4 months of these events. Consistency is the most important thing.
Right.
Do you agree?
I would totally agree.
I took a month off in February because I started a new position in the automotive field. Had to focus on that. Took a month off, and it's like starting over again. You've got to build it up again.
Right. So I've made sure that I've reserved my rooms through the end of the year. For one, because it holds me accountable, and then I've already put those dates out online, so everybody knows about them. But then it gives people people know if you already have those dates set up, then it shows that you're not going anywhere. That this is something that's going to be happening, and that I can start to commit to because I'm expecting next month to happen, and I'm looking forward to it. So
Yeah, people like routine.
yes,
They like to
yes,
know what's coming up. They like to know like you said, being
Yes.
And again, as biggest part is engaged. You have to be engaged when you go to these things. You have
Right.
to make sure you participate. Don't just be a grade 8 dance and stand in the corner.
Exactly, exactly. So at my events, what I like, and I encourage everyone to do when you're having your event, it's not about you, the speaker, or you, the host, putting the event out. It's about the people who show up. So I have people that 2 people give a speech every month, and then everybody has to give some feedback. So right there, you're getting that interaction. And then I have a game or an activity, not really because it's going to it's business related, but because it gets people to relax and to have fun and to loosen up, and it makes everyone comfortable with each other. And so I find that when we have the events, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour after, people are still talking and networking and building these relationships. So you want to give people as much time as possible to form those relationships and get to know each other and have fun. And it's not stuffy. I am so far from stuffy, JP.
You are far from stuffy. That's for sure.
So far. And I want to make sure that people have fun and that they eat and they enjoy themselves and leave feeling, boy, my 2 hours that I spent there, it was valuable. It was worth something. And I'm looking forward to coming back.
Well, Laura, I always love spending time with you. Your energy is infectious,
Thank you.
and you are a professional in your field. How do people find you?
They can find me on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn. Laura Connor Speaks. You'll see me. You can't miss me. I don't think you can miss me.
You're like 6'1". I can't really.
All right. So I'm hard to miss. Or you could go to connorspeaks.com and you'll have a lot of information there. I am adding tons of videos, pictures of past events, ways that people could learn about other things, other events that I'm doing. So connorspeaks.com is the place to reach me, or on LinkedIn. I love LinkedIn. And maybe
Perfect.
next time we'll talk about that.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely, my friend. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
Again, thank you so much for tuning in to Engage Networking with JP Ostiguy and myself. In future, just try something different. I always say it every episode, get out there. What's the worst that's going to happen? If you need help, reach out. We are here to help. Until next time, get out there.